Hey there, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, and Gemini Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. At this channel, we generally work with the energy of the moon, but for the month of May, I always like to work with the interpersonal planets. So that would be the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus, who am I missing? The Earth, and of course the Moon. Of course the Moon, wouldn't leave out the Moon. So, while I was sitting here trying to get into your energy, all I saw was an orange. I'm like, an orange? And so then I heard, well, you know, usually sweet, sometimes sour. Oh, okay. And then I heard life is sweet. And then I saw the orange being squeezed, like half of the orange being squeezed, like out, like it was all of a sudden this giant orange and you're just this little person underneath and it's being squeezed over you. And I thought, all right, what do I know about the orange? I think you're being asked to immerse yourself in the sweetness of life. I also think of the orange as a navel orange, which would be the solar plexus. It would be your sense of, or maybe even the sacral chakra. It's your sense of self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-value, also your personal seat of power. They're both orange, so I kind of think it might be that. And so it was just unusual. It's a different kind of message than I usually get. But I'm happy to pass it on. So let's go ahead and get started here and see what's in store for you for the month of May. Wow, that's interesting. It's interesting because I shuffle a lot and I don't put the cards in the same place together. And it you got two cards that Aries got, which was, you know, a couple signs ago, but that was just odd. Okay. So I got a clarifier, just so to help me get on the right track with you. Is you have this emperor, this I'm large and in charge of my world, and the Hierophant, I'm seeking higher knowledge to figure out what the key to success is. Do I need to look at things a little differently to get there? And I wanted to know what this was about. And so the clarifier that came out was the Four of Wands. So I think you're trying to figure out stuff about your home life, your home situation, something about that. So, all right. I do want to take a moment to thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, for helping me grow my channel. I think this full moon that we just had in Libra was all about relationship balance and the give and take and giving and receiving. And so I want to ask you, since I spend about 25 hours a week doing 24 videos, if you wouldn't mind taking 1 second of your time to give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment to help me continue to grow my channel, I would really appreciate it. I do this commercial free. All right, so let's figure out what's going on here. Something about the home. You know, when I see the Emperor, he's like, I am Lord of all I survey. And the Hierophant is definitely looking at the world with awe. I mean, we've got the northern lights going on, and there's keys. The keys to success, the keys to unlock the box to your question, to find the answers. Oh, it is about seeking higher knowledge and wisdom. Thank you, Sun. So the Sun is in Taurus, April 20th through May 20th, and then it moves into Gemini, your sign. And the Sun is about wisdom in this position for you because it is in your 12th house of, as long as it's in Taurus, it's in your 12th house of hopes, goals, dreams, wishes, spiritual connection. And so you're being asked to get into the flow with the universe and to seek your inner knowledge and your inner wisdom. That is the key. The key to whatever you're trying to figure out that's going to create this kind of stability with regards to your home. Yes, that's what that is. That is what that is. All right. And so then Mercury rules your sign. And Mercury is currently in Aries, but we'll move into Taurus on May 6th, and then feeling super speedy after being in retrograde back in Pisces forever. 2 weeks later, we'll move into Gemini on May 21st. And so we'll be there until, you know, June. I'm laughing because in June, it gets into Cancer and then starts moving retrograde, and then everybody else goes retrograde too. Like we have a lot of planets going retrograde currently, but by the time we get to the end of June, all the planets except for Venus and Mars will be moving retrograde. And it's going to be all sloggy again. So I feel like if you want to get anything done, now would be a really good time. That would be a really good time. Oh, okay. Yes, you are supposed to be looking for the sweet in life. You are currently very angry and upset about some turn of events that happened. And I think I've noticed this in your reading, like stuff has been happening. And I feel like it's not all in your control. And then you have the Sanctuary card that came out with us. And Sanctuary says, take time away from the world. Spend more time alone. Meditate. Or go on a retreat. And he definitely looks like he's sitting there in like a very meditative position. This anger is about expressing your anger in a healthy way. It is okay to be angry. It is. But expressing it in a healthy way is really important. And so if there's something that needs to be said, go ahead. I also noticed with these, we have the light and the dark. We have the shadow and the light. And we have the shadow and the light in both pictures, right? The unicorn one's white and the other one's dark. The sky behind the white one is dark, and the sky behind the dark unicorn is light. And so I think it's important that you look at a situation and understand that just because something you don't like something doesn't make it bad. There's no such thing as good and evil. There's shadow and light. And things you can't see the light without the shadow. They can't exist without each other. And so when there's a bad turn of events, in your opinion, there might be for the higher good in the long run, or it's to teach you a lesson, or it's to position you for something better. And so sometimes that sense of disappointment is so real and so strong, but maybe there is something good that comes out of it down the road. And so get into the flow with the universe. And I'm going to give you this mantra right here because I think it's really important. And hopefully you keep a journal, like of your thoughts and when you think and you meditate. Especially being Gemini, writing is a really powerful way for you to connect with spirit. And so when you listen to any of the readers, it's always a good idea to write down something that resonates for you, so you can journal on it later. Or if you see something during the day that you're looking up what the spiritual meaning is, so you can help progress yourself along your own personal developmental path. And it says flow. The glory of the universe flows through me, and wisdom. All I truly need is within me. And so I feel like you're upset about something, but there's a lesson to be learned in it. And if you get into the flow with the universe and spend some time contemplating it and synthesizing that information and journaling on it and spending some time thinking about it, I think you're going to learn something about you that helps you grow and raises your vibration. And that's wonderful. I don't think that the lessons that teach us the most are easy. In fact, they're hard and horrible. It's just, we're like steel. And tempered steel, that's the steel that's thrust into the heat and pulled out and beat the crap out of and folded over onto itself and then pounded some more and then thrown back in the heat to melt and then goes over and over. That's the steel that's strong. That's the steel that's strong. And so in life, the lessons that we learn the best are the hard ones. The situations that we gain the most from are the hard ones, and that's unfortunately on so many levels how that goes. But you are being told that there is a sign from heaven. Your loved ones in spirit are waving hello and giving you reassurance that you will be all right. And so spirit is there, and your ancestors is there, and your guides are there, and your angels are there. Don't be afraid to call out on them. Call out to them for help. You also have laughter. Uplift yourself and those around you through your loving laughter. And I think this is that orange that's about squeezing the joy out of life no matter what the circumstances are, right? It's squeezing that fun out and really enjoying life. And so laughter is a great way to do that. And you also have smile. Boy, are you being hit over the head with this. Simply smile and notice the profound and healing difference that it makes. And so again, you can't always choose your attitude. You can't always choose your circumstances, but you can always choose your attitude. And so choosing to smile even when you are rightfully upset. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be upset. I'm not saying something bad didn't work out and didn't quite go your way. But by choosing to laugh and choosing to smile, you raise your vibration, which then magnifies your intentions. Choose specific goals to work toward your, oh geez, old eyes. Choose a specific goal to work toward. Your energy is spread out among too many ideas. Please bring your focus back to the key intention and let your angels help. So again, seeking higher wisdom, spiritual help and guidance. And, so here's something I just saw. He has 4 wands, but actually with those trees there, it looks like a lot more than 4 wands. In fact, what does that really look like? That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a baker's dozen of wands. That's a lot of wands. But this guy's sitting here with 1 wand in his hand. And he's contemplating. And he's focused on that one intention. So that's interesting. So maybe you've got a lot going on, because this is home. 4 of Wands is often home. And so maybe you have a work-life balance situation that you're trying to sort out. But you're being asked to find the joy in life, smile, know that Spirit's there and Spirit's got you, and take some time out for meditation. Get in the flow of life, but only really focus your energy down. Synthesize it down using your wisdom on which one thing can you focus on right now. Kind of like one thing at a time kind of attitude. All right, so Mars. Mars is currently in your house. Oh, this was Venus, and I didn't even talk about Venus. Venus is in Aries and moves into Taurus on May 15th. And so on May 15th, when Venus moves into Taurus, Mars moves out of your sign of Gemini into Cancer. And Mars and Venus. Okay, so Venus is currently in fire and will move into Earth. And Mars is currently in air and moves into water. So fire and air get along great. Water and earth get along great. And so what that means is that communication between those 2 planets of action, of self-esteem, self-value, self-worth, financial, are working together. So what do you really want to bring into being? They're communicating really well. Great action can be taken on these 2 fronts right now. I think there's a situation you're trying to figure out that you're not happy about. And I think while you're waiting, you should try to have some fun. Because this looks like you're just waiting. So Mars is telling you, yeah, no, you're waiting. Because the time's not quite right yet. And it might be because the sun's in your 12th house of hopes, goals, values, and dreams, and wishes, and spiritual communication. And maybe you're supposed to be spending this month of May, or at least until the 20th, really thinking about what it is, what you want. And I think there's a really good possibility that when the sun moves into Gemini on the 21st of May, and we've got Taurus, we've got Venus in Taurus, which is, that's the planet she rules. She rules that sign. And we've got Aries. Oh, Aries, the fiery planet, ends up in water. Kind of slows things down. Feels like the time's not quite right. I think the time's not quite right is because you haven't synthesized it down to 1 wand. I think you got to get down to 1 wand. So which 1 wand needs your time and attention? And I think only you know that, you in spirit. And I think that part of that is, I think the reason they're sending you the flow one is because you're not in the flow. And by using that affirmation, you should be able to move yourself into the flow. Because unless you get into the flow and you're fighting, trying to paddle upstream, it's very difficult. And you don't get very far very fast. And you feel like you're waiting forever. I think getting in the flow is going to be very important. Ooh, you have juniper. This is Mother Earth. You have juniper. Look like little fireflies there. I have to read this one. I don't use these very often. Today when I was picking my cards, that one just like jumped up and said, I literally saw it in my head. And I'm like, ooh, I haven't even been in that deck in like a year. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go. So here we all are. You have juniper. This is an excellent time to investigate any form of psychic work that you feel drawn to, provided that you are acting with the best of intentions for everyone concerned and that you ensure you are physically protected. Whoa. That's why you should be meditating. You know, 12th house is all about spiritual connection. They're asking you to find time in sanctuary. And if you notice the light of that moon there, looks a lot like the little firefly lights that we got going on here. He looks like he's sitting and contemplating. The Hierophant is considered the connection with spirit. You have the Wisdom card, again, connection with spirit. You've got spirit waving at you. So I think we have two things going on here. One, you're really, in order to synthesize down and manage your anger and figure out things, in order to get through this process here, you need to settle and contemplate. Right now the action is no action. It's meditation and contemplation. So that you can get in the flow with the universe. Getting into the flow of the universe and allowing the universe to help bring the stuff to you. If you're trying so hard to create what you think how it should be, oh gosh, when you ask the universe for something, you say what you would like the end goal to be, but you don't necessarily outline the steps. You allow the universe to figure out what the best way is to bring that to you. And so the universe is asking you to get in the flow with the universe. To sit and spend some time in meditation and contemplation. And meanwhile, while all that's going on, smile and laugh. I think your last reading was all about having fun while you wait. I think that was you guys. I could be wrong, but I think it was. So we have a new moon in Taurus that happens on May 4th, and we get the full moon in Scorpio on May 18th. And we'll definitely be doing special readings just for that, but I wanted to get some overall energy for the month from the moon for you. And you have new moon eclipse, expect powerful change. I think that happens. We have a new moon eclipse happening in Cancer in July. So, get really clear on what it is you want for the end result, not the steps, but what you want. Reconnect with spirit, get in the flow. I think that new moon eclipse, that's a powerful change that starts happening. And then, oh, we have a progression. Then we have the new moon in Leo, which follows. That's the next new moon after that. And that's confidence is the key to your success. Here we see the keys. If you want to know what the keys to success is, it's your confidence. So spend some time in meditation, get clear on what you want. And right now, while we're going through this waning moon process for until May 4th, spend some time thinking about what you need to release. And I think one of the things that you need to release is any anger that you have about the situation. And I also think you need to release the idea that you need to be able to control things, because right now it looks like if you get in the flow and you let the universe control things, things will go a lot smoother and turn out way better than you can even imagine right now. So reconnect with spirit, get in the flow, release your anger and your disappointment, and start meditating and contemplating. And then mid-July, when we have that full moon, new moon eclipse in Cancer, followed by the new moon in Leo, that looks like a very powerful 60 days. And actually, when you have an eclipse, that can go out, for a year or 18 months. So big changes, big changes. Wow, that looks actually very interesting. I think this is, I think that what is needed is to go back to the orange. Squeezing the joy out of life, even though you're not really thrilled with the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Pick your attitude, pick a fun one. Pick one that, sometimes just smiling will help change your attitude. Because when you smile, other people start smiling at you. You're more open. I think it opens up your heart to noticing things around you. There was a time in my life when I used to just dread going out in public because people would be like, you should smile more. And I used to think, well, why don't you just smile and say hi to me? And I'd smile. What do they call that? Resting bitch face? Maybe. But it's true. When I got over myself in my 40s, I loved turning 40. There was a lot of freedom that came with that. I found myself working on my attitude, and so I would deliberately smile a lot more. And now I just do smile more. I guess it was a fake it till you make it kind of thing. But I'm not saying I don't have a resting bitch face, because I probably still do. But I also have laugh lines now, which I never had, and so there was the benefit of the resting bitch face. Just saying. All right, Gemini, you have... Wow, this is so you. You have fluorite. It's really pretty. So it's the purple of the amethyst, third eye chakra, and the green of the heart chakra. Okay? And it says, I am smart. I am open to learning something new. I am organized. Perfect. So focus on your superpowers. Those are your superpowers, right? You guys know a lot of stuff because you study a lot of things and you take in a lot of information. So go ahead and keep doing that. Smile. Get in the flow with the universe. The changes, the big changes are happening later in the summer. So, stick your line in the water. Do a little meditating, a little contemplating. It's happening. It's just not maybe in the timetable that you would like, but definitely in divine timing. And divine timing is always right on time. Right? Okay. All right, well, you guys take care. How these videos are so long. I will see you back for the weeklies and do some meditation. And again, that affirmation is, I am smart. I am open to learning something new. I am organized. You can do that. All right, we'll text it. Bye.